All right. Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the first Engage user webinar of the year. We're glad you can join us. If you have any questions as we go throughout this webinar, you can ask them in the chat box on your Zoom screen. So you should see a little chat option down at the bottom. You can just click that and ask any question you have. As we go throughout the webinar, we'll take a peek at those, answer them, and at the end of the webinar, we'll run through any that we haven't yet answered. So for today, we have our expert developer, Kevin Mahoney, here to share some exciting updates to the Teams console. And then we also have design guru, Alex Zaretsky, to show you new design features and some updates there too. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kevin.
Thank you, Paige. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right, I think everything is visible. All right, good afternoon, everybody, or good morning if you're here still on the West Coast. My name is Kevin Mahoney, and I am one of the developers here at Ingage. And I just want to give you a little tour of some of the changes we're making to the team site today and how these changes will improve your workflow. And also at the end, I'm just going to talk a little bit about how this will position Teams as a focal point moving forward in terms of building upon our already powerful analytics platform and some other exciting new features we have planned for the upcoming year. And just to add a little bit of extra context, this will not be a training session. I will not be diving into the nitty-gritty here. This is just meant to give everyone a quick look at some of the big changes and focus on some of the new additions we have. And as mentioned, we will have time for questions at the end of the webinar. So if there's anything specifically you want to address, go ahead and just put it in chat and we'll get to it at the end. All right, so we're going to start here at the login screen. Most of you probably won't see this if you access Teams through the desktop or iOS clients. But Teams is also meant to be accessible through a web browser. And so we'll start here and we'll just log in as a demo admin user or a demo company. And right off the bat, team or existing users of Teams will probably notice that there's quite a bit different here. I'm going to start just by saying that we have kind of redesigned this to be in a dark mode to match our branding with the desktop and iOS applications. We've also moved our navigation over here to the left side here to be consistent with our iOS and desktop applications. You can also collapse this navigation. You know, if you're in analytics and you're knee deep in pivot tables and you want all the extra screen real estate you can get, you can go ahead and just collapse that menu at any time. And also to mention, if you're a member of multiple companies, you'll actually have listings for each of your companies here in the sidebar, and you can collapse them and expand them as you see fit. It's pretty much the same behavior you get in desktop or iOS. And now we can go ahead and talk about this big area I've been dancing around, and that is the dashboard. This is new to Teams, and it's the first thing that your administrator would see when they log in. It is what we like to say is your 10,000-foot view of the company and how your company, teams, and users are doing. And we've kind of split it up into kind of two areas right now. The top area is shortcuts for commonly used actions. Based on our observations of how most people use Teams, a lot of it has to do with just logistics, like adding users and adding teams. And so we thought it'd be nice to make it easier for you to get in and get out when you need to just add a user or just add a team. And so if you log in, you can just click on Add User here, and it automatically takes you to the user section, automatically pops up the Add User form. So I could literally just add new user, at engage.io, new user, set them up with the role I want, maybe a viewer, and add them, and then you're done. So, it takes you a matter of seconds to get it done. We also have a breadcrumb up here in the top, so no matter where you are, you can always get back to where you want to go by just clicking up there. You'll also notice once this launches and you start using it, that Teams navigation is more consistent compared to the older iteration of the site. So your browser back and forward buttons should behave as expected. Now to talk about the bottom part of the dashboard, the colorful 4 tiles you see before you are our analytics tiles. And those are meant to give you sort of a health report or a nice heartbeat of how your company and presentations are doing. And we're looking to add more value to this as in the next month or two and beyond. So definitely stay tuned. But to talk about what we have here right now, These are basically kind of like the 4 heartbeat metrics that you'll see when you first log into Teams. And these are meant to kind of give you the high level views of how things are going. And if you notice something is off or maybe up or down, this is where you start your investigation. So if I looked at my average session duration here and said, well, this is about 5 minutes more than what my average usually is, I wonder what's going on. How am I getting that boon in session duration? What's going right? I can click in on that tile and go to the analytics for session duration and drill down and say, oh, okay, yeah, we added that section to our presentation, and it's really engaging the audience. So there are, more eyeballs are being spent on that presentation for longer periods of time. And then you can see, how that correlates to the deal closures and things like that. And yeah, that's our dashboard. More to come as time goes by, so definitely stay tuned for that. Another highly requested feature we receive for Teams is to have it display on your mobile device. And I think we're happy to say that come this new release, Teams will be accessible in your mobile device, be it iPhone, Android, what have you. This is what the dashboard will look like when you log in to Teams. You'll still have your shortcut tiles up here, and you also have your analytics tiles here as well. So if you're making your morning cup of coffee and you're wondering what you're gonna, wondering how things are going, you can quickly just take a look at your analytics heartbeat, and then go into the office and you have a rough idea of what you're going to be talking about with the team that day. Additionally, it helps with a lot of scenarios where perhaps maybe you're out on the job site, or you get maybe you're up in the air at 36,000 feet cruising altitude, and you get a ping from one of your reps that's maybe presenting in a region that they're not a team member of, and so you're saying like, oh yeah, hold on, let me help you out there. And so I'll go to users, and let's say the person contacting me is Mr. Theodore Airway there. And he's saying like, hey, I'm presenting in the Western region. I'm only a member of Haddon East. I need that presentation to help, with this pitch. I'll go in here and say, okay, Ted, I'm looking through here. Sure enough, you're only a member of East. I'll go ahead and add you to our Western team as well as a viewer. And then I'll confirm that this is the case, save it. And I'll say, oh, okay, all right. Well, you're good to go now. And so then what I would do if I were Theodore here, I'd be on my Ingage client and I'd notice, oh, hey, I'm added to West. Now I have this wonderful Western product offering thing. And if I go back to my guy here, 36,000 feet in the air, he's done. So he can close his phone and go about his day. So that's mainly the practical reason why we wanted to implement this for mobile. And it's not just users, it's all parts of the site that are accessible on mobile here. So we'll have the Teams listing. You can also get through the presentations listing. There might be a little bit of horizontal scrolling with this, but you can still get a good view of all your presentations, manage your integrations if you're part of our automation play, and also viewing analytics. And then once again, this is what the dashboard will look like. And I'll go ahead and just pop this back out of mobile view. And I think all I want to talk about now is just kind of our roadmap moving forward with Teams here. Doing this redesign provides us with a solid and consistent base for us to continue our roadmap out into 2022 and 2023. And the dashboard here will continue to grow over time, and we really want to become customizable, especially for the different types of roles that have access to Teams. So the dashboard should have a different look when it's for an analyst versus a team administrator, for example. And I think I just also want to say that we're still working on adding other suggestions from our customers. And we're always excited to hear your ideas for future improvements. And so this is an open call to everybody. If there's anything you want to see, anything you want to see more of, or maybe see less, just go ahead and contact your account manager, and they'll surface it up to us. And yeah, thanks for your time. I'm really excited to get Teams rolled out. And yeah, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Alex now, I believe.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Hey, everybody, I'm Alex Redsky, Senior Product Designer here at Ingage, and I am so excited to show you the new ad page experience inside Ingage. So, as you all know, starting a presentation from scratch is a pretty daunting task. It's intimidating to look into the abyss of nothingness, but we're trying to make that a much more pleasant experience. So now when you hit the Add Page button, we've got all the templates that you're familiar with in Engage, but now they're all built out using Freestyle. And so if I choose one of these, I can do something like drag and drop a logo on top of window and then move it around and put it wherever I want. So something that was a total showstopper for so many folks just trying to make a small change to their presentation. Now it's super easy just to come in here, drag and drop some media in there, crop it. You've got total control. And of course, you've got all the great elements that the Freestyle page offers. You can just layer them on top of it, but you're not starting from scratch. And so that's really, really fantastic. We've also got a ton of new page templates in here. And so I'm sure a lot of you guys know me. I've been working closely with our customers over the past couple of years to help them build their presentations. And so we've taken a lot of the layouts that people have to make from scratch every single day, and we've added them in here. And so now super quickly, we can just drag and drop, add some photos, and customize the page just with a few clicks. You can also, select multiple items, style them, and you've got tons of control over the page layout. Here's another new layout. This one's also super helpful. So if we hop in here, again, we'll just drag and drop, add an image to the background. Now let's select a couple different text boxes. Just hold down Shift. You can change the style of those to heading. And if we unpin them, that'll let us move them around. So right now they're pinned, so you can't accidentally fudge it, but I can adjust their height to be, let's say, 96 points. And then I can even select the circles behind them, and using these controls up in the top right, I can set all those just to align to bottom. And so I'm able to really quickly move stuff around the page, get total control over everything, and really have the flexibility to move quickly, but also make whatever I want. Let me show you one other cool thing you can do. So you might start out with, a layout like this, and let's add an image to that. Crop the image, and let's add some circles, right? Let's make a page where we're able to dive in deeper. So I'll size my circle, and I can style it. And we'll to the border now. And I'll just use the guides to put it here in the corner. And then let's duplicate the circle, and we'll put the other one down here. And I'll just use the keyboard shortcut to make a few more circles. And hold down Shift, and let's select all those circles. And again, using the align and distribute buttons, here's the vertical distribution, I can just have all those moved and evenly spaced out. And of course, so multiple things selected. Let's add a 10-point white border to all of those. And so starting with the page layout just lets me take a real shortcut to creating great professionally designed, consistent pages, and then customize them any way I want. So I'm spending more time focusing on my content and less time worrying about how it's going to be laid out. So definitely let us know if you have any questions. Can't wait for you to get your hands on it. Give us your feedback. We've got a lot more to come, and I'll hand it back over to Paige.
All right, cool. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Alex. At this point, if you have any questions, we'd love to hear them. You can just drop them in the chat of Zoom. Again, that should be at the bottom of your screen, a little bubble option where it says chat. You can just shoot over the questions you have. We'll answer them within the next few minutes here. And then just as a side note as well, in order to make sure you have all of these features and our new updates, always remember to update your app. So make sure you have the latest version, and that will confirm then that you are using all of our latest updates. All right, so one question we have, Do I have to have the Engage iOS app installed on my phone to add a new user in Teams?
That's a good question, Paige. No, you do not. You can have an iPhone or an Android device. The Engage Teams site will go ahead and load up just fine in there. Same thing with your iPads or tablets.
All right, and then it looks like one attendee has asked, what were the keyboard shortcuts? I missed those.
Oh, the only one I think I used was duplicate, which on a Mac is Command D, and on Windows would be Control D.
All right, one question. It'd be really nice to be able to see more than the last week's analytics within our dashboard. Are there any plans to add more features here?
Yeah, we have lots of plans to improve the value of the dashboard. One idea that we currently have and will be shipping over the next couple of versions is the ability to add trend lines to those analytics tiles. So very quickly, you'll actually be able to see trends that are happening within your presentations, whether views are up, views are down, sessions are up, duration is up. So you'll get to be able to track that over time. As Kevin said, we're always really excited to hear your feedback on what you think would be valuable in the dashboard. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions, please reach out to your account manager and let them know. And we'd be happy to hop on a call and have a discussion with you about what we can build next.
Thank you, Jim. Another question on Teams. Who has access to Teams?
Teams access is available to anybody who is either an administrator of their company or a guest administrator of a company. You can log in and manage your entire company, team, presentations, users, very easy through our new Teams console. And we do have an additional role, which is called an analyst. And if you have someone within your organization who specializes in analytics, you can give that person an analyst role, and they're able to go in and use our analytics dashboard to run advanced reports, pivot tables, export data, and all those sorts of good things.
Right, and then I just saw one more question for right now. Will you have more training on Teams in the future?
Yeah, we're currently working on a series of YouTube videos to show how to accomplish the various tasks in our new Teams 3.0 redesign. And we're also making some updates to some of our analytics videos. So do stay tuned for those.
Thank you, Jim. Those were all the questions right now. So if any others pop up, you can always reach out to our team, of course. You can email us at success@engage.io. And then following today's webinar, you'll all be also receiving a recording of this. So if you want to reference it or you missed any of it, you can always look back on it through the recording. But we all want to thank you for joining today. It was a pleasure to run through all of this with you.